You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Real World After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Real World After Show.
Hey, what? Hey, what are you doing? Yo, what up, AfterBuzzers? Bing is for doing, and we are here doing another AfterBuzz TV After Show for the Real World Portland, Season 28, Episode 10, Sins of the Flesh Eaters. It's your boy, DJ Jesse Janedy, joined in studio by the one, the only, the lovely Nicolette Gaona.
Hey, y'all. What's up?
So, crazy episode. We had Naya on 2 weeks ago. We had Anastasia call in last week. Gave us all the dirt on her relationship with her boyfriend. And we saw an end to that this episode. We had her boyfriend, Mark. He wrote kind of a letter, an email kind of expressing that he wanted to end things. And it was very interesting the way Bird handled it. You know, she directly went to her mom and, you know, kind of asked what she thought about it. And she says, you know, he's a really nice kid, but he has a lot of issues, and, you know, this is the best for both of you. So Anastasia had a lot that, you know, she wanted to get off of her chest, and we appreciate her calling in. And then we were actually contacted by her boyfriend, Mark Rogers, her ex-boyfriend, who we would like to introduce now on the line with us.
Hey, Mark.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
Good, Mark. So, I mean, what's it like, just kind of being an outsider from the real world, what was it like kind of just walking into the real world? I mean, obviously it's got to be a little surreal.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely nervous. I mean, I wasn't the most calmest guy there. It was a lot to handle, especially being the only one with a relationship that was out there, and we were pretty fresh in a relationship as well. I really didn't know what to expect, and where me and her were going to stand, you know, with what was going on.
Did you not want her to go into the real world?
No, I was actually, I mean, deep down inside, I was very nervous about it because, I mean, the chances of us making it out of it or, you know, seeing something that we didn't like about each other, it was bound to happen. I mean, but I encouraged her to go because I'm not going to hold someone back. You know, that's a chance in a lifetime right there. Right. And it's she was doing it before I even met her. She was trying to go on the other one before that, and the St. Thomas one, and she almost got it. And I met Anna and started dating her, and actually called her back in the middle of our relationship, and she wanted to go out there, and I wasn't going to stop her. You know, she wanted to do it, and I was okay with that, you know.
You know, now you say, you know, the relationship was fairly new, you know, going back to how Anastasia kind of put it, made it seem like you guys were together a little longer. What would you say the length of the relationship was?
It was around 9 months, probably total. I mean, we had 4 months in before she even left. So it wasn't, I mean, we moved very quick, very, very quick. And it spent almost every single day together. So, I mean, you can grow with someone quickly like that. It also caused a lot of problems, too. So, I mean, we got to know each other very fast.
And so let's open that up. Obviously, you contacted us. I'm assuming you saw the interview last week.
Yeah.
What were some of the things that kind of, you know, made you want to pursue forward in contacting us and, you know, kind of getting your side of the story out?
You know, just the way the story was kind of told. I mean, for one, she was involved in it, but it's really my my story, my drug story, and the way it was told is just, I mean, it's tweaked so much just for her. Yeah, that's the way I look at it. I think that the time that it was told is bullshit on my half, and I think that she used a lot of things in it that to benefit herself. That's the way I kind of see it. I mean,
You
to
say
start off,
in the
she said
interview,
that I dropped.
in the
What's
interview,
that?
in the interview, or in the actual relationship, looking at it, do you see?
Oh, in the interviews, in all the interviews. I mean, right now, she has no idea where my drug status is at. I don't contact her. She doesn't talk to me. We're not on terms at all. So for her to make a statement about where I'm at and how I'm doing it's almost like a lie. I mean, she has no idea where my sobriety is at today.
Well, going into the real world, was that something that you were a little nervous about? You know, maybe something.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've been fighting a drug addiction since I was 13, and it haunted me forever. I got clean by myself for a while, and then I was with her, and this is after I relapsed, and I was okay for a little bit. I mean, it wasn't horrible yet. I mean, it got a lot worse, but I was with her, and 2 months came along, and we got really serious, and I told her about it, and I said, this is something I have to take care of now, or I'll never take care of it, and I had 2 months clean before she actually went on the show, so this isn't something that I just dropped on her right away. I mean, I wouldn't, knowing that, I mean, I don't think she would have even gone if I dropped it on her 2 days before. But to tweak it like that and make it sound like it's something that I just laid on her right away, it almost sounds like I completely didn't want her to go, and I just laid a huge, like, life or death situation on her, you know? I told her 100% that I was going to get clean and take care of everything, and she wanted to help. I mean, she really wanted to help. She hooked me up with one of her friends, and we were supposed to go to rehab and talk to them. It never really happened, but I stayed clean by myself, and it worked out fairly well. I mean, our relationship was decent. I still drank, and that was a problem. If you're trying to get sober, you can't touch anything.
Right.
You can't.
Right.
It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, you'll abuse anything after that point. So I still did drink, and we drank occasionally. I mean, almost every other weekend. We had a good time. We partied. It was fun. I stayed away from the drugs, and our relationship was fine. She left for the show. It was something that was there, but really, I think it was just going to be hard to be apart from each other.
Right.
It was something that was in the back of her mind that I knew probably that would eat her up. You know, it's not something that you can just not think about.
So what's the main thing that bothered you in the interview? Like, was it just because you felt like she was putting out a front that it was way worse than it actually was, or the fact that you feel
I think it was
like-
tweaked in a way to make her look better, and she didn't get it dropped on her right away. She knew about it, and to say that that's something that to cover for all of her actions on the whole show and the way that she acted out there is bullshit.
Well,
When I came out there, she had no idea that I was even high at all.
Right.
I mean, we went out, we had a great time, and she liked to start fights, man. Any problem, it's her problem. It doesn't matter what it is, she wants a problem. And we went out to the bar, had a good time. I had a couple drinks. I mean, I was pretty drunk. I had a blast out there with everybody was so nice, and it was awesome. In the middle of the night, it kind of shows like her in the bar, and she's not having that much fun. So right away, I know she's already going to start an argument about something. We get back, we're laying down, and instantly we get demiked everything. We're fine. We're laying down. Nothing's happening yet. But she starts talking loud and starts bitching at me and starts just coming off like I know she's going to start some shit. And sure enough, the fucking cameras, I can see them through the door. And I'm like, please, just don't do this. I even told her, I was like, just learn to pick your fights. Like when two people are intoxicated, that's no time to argue. I mean, you can't get anything across. Nobody has anything important to say at that point, you know? And I just wanted her to wait till the morning, but she couldn't do that. She needed to make a scene, and she did.
well,
And
yeah. I mean, I do get that. I mean, but the fact that she didn't throw, your information out there during the taping, during
Right.
the show, I mean, that says a lot about her character, right? I mean,
no, absolutely. No, I think it does. But I'm just saying that it wasn't something that was, it wasn't like it was fresh. It was part of our relationship. It was who we are.
Okay.
So she had
Before the
already
show.
been
This is our
dealing.
life
She had
before
already
and after, you know?
kind of been dealing with it, you're saying, and so it was kind of like, well, this is nothing new, so why are you, causing this big ruckus in front of the cameras?
I just don't, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And
But you
for
also,
someone to draw the attention towards it like that and to talk about it after, I mean, like, she didn't want to talk about it when she was with me. I don't think she would have talked about it with me if we were even still together, or if she didn't look like that on there, you know? Anna couldn't stand if we couldn't talk it out right then and there, there was a huge, huge problem. And what I would do is I would leave, or I would walk away, and we would talk about it in the morning.
and
And she literally came to my hotel chasing me down, acting nuts, and we talked. And the next day, we actually got off the cameras, and I talked to her, and I was like, I don't know where this relationship is going. Pretty much nothing about the drugs yet. There was nothing about any type of drugs or anything like that. And I just told her that I can't do this. I can't do this with we fought all the time, even without the drug problem, you know? And every problem had to be hers. I mean, I informed her that I was going to rehab through that letter, and it pretty much was secret, but the way I did it was at the end, and I wanted to make sure that she could handle it, you know? I didn't want her freaking out on the show about it. It wasn't something that was constantly asked. I mean, she called me numerous times crying on how much she wanted to just come home, or either, I mean, she just hated the fact that everybody was drinking and having fun, and she just couldn't handle that, you know? And hearing her like that, it's a horrible feeling when you can't help, you know?
And so, do you ever look at it? One thing that I know she said last week was that she would get frustrated a lot. I mean, coming from trying to recover, and obviously turning, like you said, towards alcohol. Do you ever look back at it and say, "Wow, I didn't treat her the way she should have been treated," or maybe looking at it like I caused some of the fights, or do you honestly think that there is a lot of stuff? And not just with the Real World, even before that, maybe she took out of hand because she knew what she was dealing with?
I mean, I take a lot of blame for our relationship being the way it was. But there were some things that I couldn't help. I mean, there were a lot of fights that had nothing to do with anything at all. And it was frustrating because you're arguing with like a brick wall. It's just, you can't get your point across. Like, whatever you say, it doesn't matter. And when you love someone like that, you're trying to just fix whatever the fucking problem is. Nobody knows what the problem is.
Right.
It's very frustrating on both of us. Emotionally, she couldn't handle a lot of things, and I tried to get out of the relationship as early as possible to tell her this, and she wanted to help. But I think addressing it is what I'm a little frustrated with, addressing it as the reason for everything for her, like the way she acted in so many different ways, and using it as her stress level. Like, that's what stressed her out the most. It's disappointing to me. I think it's very low.
When you went to the hotel and she showed up, how heated did it get in there? I mean, there was something about kicking, and was there any kind of...
Yeah, again, I mean, she said domestic violence. Like, that's screaming for attention right there. Like, it almost was domestic violence. I mean, it wasn't almost domestic violence. They wouldn't have let her up in my room. I mean, there would have been a security guard at my door. There wouldn't have been a phone call. Like, it's just things like that, twisting things around to make them sound like they're worse than they are. It's ridiculous. But she actually came up there and she had her microphone on.
Right.
And it pissed me off. I mean, I told her I didn't want to argue right now. I didn't want to talk right now. I didn't want the cameras. I didn't want any of it. I just wanted to be left alone. And she still, like, insisted and needed that,
Right.
And she still had, I mean, we've talked about it even when we got home. I mean, she didn't know anything about the drugs, and that's what's so frustrating about it.
So
Someone that states that they just want to help and they just want to care, and it's like...
So you're saying
it was just a relationship, I think, that...
She didn't know. She didn't know about the drugs before she went on to the Real World.
No, she knew about them. I'm saying that, like, when I was out there, like, she said that she knew I was I was messed up and it was a deadly combination. And
Oh, okay.
she
Gotcha.
didn't know that. I mean, if I was high to begin with when I got there, how did she not know that, you know? And to let me go out and drink is just,
Well,
That's
I mean,
know,
that's
it
probably
sounds-
something-
also in the same context, just to kind of play devil's advocate, if it is something that she has known about in the past, to kind of maybe have it in the back of her head, but she hasn't seen you in so long. She had been crying, and so maybe overlooking the fact that she could tell you were just because of the excitement of seeing you, and
Yeah.
maybe it kind of all hitting towards the end of the night. And kind
Absolutely,
of
yeah.
really not really know how to handle her anger. But what kind of feelings did it bring up for you watching the last week's episode?
it was just a really shitty time for me. I mean, it sucks because I missed my girlfriend and the fact that I was at the lowest I've ever been in my entire life, you know?
Right.
Going straight to rehab. I mean, I got home and I sent that letter like 2 weeks later. I actually broke down, and I'm not close to my family at all. I was actually living with Anna's mom, and that's the person that actually saved my life. I told her, I was like, I don't know where me and Anna stand. I don't know what's going on. And she was like, I'll love you no matter what. If you're not with her, you know, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And I pretty much told her. I have no, I mean, I was going to overdose or something bad was going to happen. I mean, it just got to the point where the stress level was just insane. And
Wow.
So where do you
I
stand?
pretty much told her and went straight to rehab.
Where do you stand now with Anna? I mean, as far as the real world ending, you know, what happened with you guys' story?
It pretty much, we lasted a couple months after that, and I was clean. I still am clean. October 12th was actually my clean date, and
Congratulations.
we don't talk. We don't talk at all, and I'm happy for her. I'm glad that everything's working out, but I just, you know, if people are going to tell the story of, like, what happened with me, I want to explain it, you know?
No, and we totally
It's
appreciate
something that's a part of me, you know? And she said she didn't feel right talking about it when she was with me, and I know she held it all in, but to address it in a certain way is just, it's tough standing up in an NA meeting and being like, hi, I'm an addict, you know? Imagine telling the
Right.
whole world
Yeah.
to hear
That's
you have a huge problem, you know? And I just felt like if anybody's going to talk about it and say it, you know, I know
should
she
be
went through a
you.
ton, and her mother is, I love her to death. I mean, I wouldn't be here right now probably if it wasn't for her. But I feel like if you truly learn from something, there's no need to address it like this, you know? And
Well,
Yeah.
it's, you know,
I just-
everyone lives and
Exactly.
lives and learns. People make mistakes. I mean, you know, you also have to look at, because as for you, you know, being thrown into this, she's kind of being thrown into the world of reality TV, and everyone wants.
oh,
to,
absolutely, and I understand. Yeah.
You know, so
no.
we definitely appreciate you calling in, Mark, and you know, wanting to take a stance on, you know, what really went down. You can kind of see where both sides of the story stand.
Right.
And we wish you all the best of luck. And
Definitely.
again,
and
thank
good
you
luck
so-
with everything. And we're proud that you actually, you know, went and got help. And that's a really awesome.
Yeah.
That's really
and the
good.
fact that you're able to speak about it, you
says
know,
a lot.
No, absolutely. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people out there that are terrified. They're just terrified of what either people think. And, you know, those people go to sleep every night knowing that they're wrong, you know, and there's a whole new life out there without that stuff, you know?
Right.
Exactly.
And people can do that. You were like that before. There's no reason you can't go back, you know?
Right.
Awesome. Well,
Well,
Mark,
thank you so much.
thank you so much. We totally appreciate you taking that stance. And please, anytime you have anything to say about the show, you're more than welcome to call in.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Woo!
So there you have it.
All right, it makes
a lot
sense.
of, yeah.
I see both sides.
Definitely,
of both
I see both
stories.
sides, and I'm glad that he was able to, you know, talk about his
Demons.
side, yeah, and his
Yeah.
demons, and that takes a lot for somebody to do. So, props to him.
All right, let's get into the show though. With this episode. So Jessica.
we start?
Let's talk about Jessica first.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Since we're talking about relationships, let's talk about Jessica.
I think Jessica was in her own relationship. Like, I mean, she was in La La World, like la la la, like. Okay, I'm gonna print out all these photos and I'm gonna set, like, girl, you ain't even at home yet. Like, you're on the Real World and you're putting photos. Like, usually people come if they have a relationship. No.
I could even see one or two. You know what I mean? Like, okay, if we went last week to the arcade and like did like a fun little photo booth thing, like, all right. But girl, you done went to Walmart.
Bought frames.
Right. First of all, frames and
a keychain. Like, first of all, what man do you know has a keychain? Like nowadays, a keychain with a picture of us. Yeah, of us together.
That's some crazy stalker girlfriend stuff. Like talking about like, all right, you're gonna have that wrapped on your purse, right?
Well, and it's like it was in like a bag. Like she gave it to him. She's like she wrote like everything under like behind each photo that was printed. Like I'd have been like, yo, like. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm mad no one in the house. I mean, maybe someone did tell her, but I'm mad no one said something to her in the house like, girl, this looks kind of
I would have stepped up and would have been like, yo, like, we need to take these photos down, okay? And we need
one of the picture frames literally said, family inspires us. Why are you putting Tyler in something that says family? Y'all just met. What's going on?
Hello, everybody.
Phil.
Oh, Phil.
No, here's the thing, right? So you guys have a lot of guests on the Real World, and they always get to, clear the air and get whatever they want into the world and share with their fans.
All right.
Now, I don't know if you guys are my fans. Half of you probably don't even know who the hell I am. But I work here, to say the least. And here's what I want to get off my chest. Especially after all these interviews as of late that we've been getting, so many exclusives, and, thank you for that, Jesse, by the way. All of this to you fans for free. And so the one thing that I want to ask, and on behalf of all of AfterBuzz, and to continue doing this for you guys for free, is if you go to iTunes and search Adventures of Serial Buddies. It's a movie done by a lot of the people, in fact, here at AfterBuzz, and so that way, you're not having to pay for this content. You can just download the movie, and it's an enjoyable movie. So you're just getting something for it, and let your friends know. And it really keeps this place going. If you're having trouble finding it, go to serialbuddies.com.
Or go to our Twitter pages because we're all tweeting the links.
I mean, have you seen the tweets?
Yes.
You got Kim Kardashian tweeting. You got all of WWE. You got half the Real Worlders. You got anyone who's considered a celebrity in this world has tweeted about this damn movie.
They are on the Adventures of Serial Buddies.
That's right. And again, it's a very, very funny movie. It's got Christopher Lloyd in it, Henry Winkler, Artie Lang. You
Catherine
name it, they're in it. Exactly.
Maria Menounos, Beth Bears, Two Broke Girls.
I know.
And it's a cult classic, people.
In fact, it's got Colt 45 by Afro Man in it. That's how cult it is.
It actually does. And it actually has, if you ever want to hear one of Maria Menounos' songs, her song is.
It's got 3 of her songs.
3 of her songs. There you go.
And this is one of the. By the way, this random soundtrack is not random.
Music.
It is a theme song in the movie, so that's how quirky it is. So, Adventures of Serial Buddies out today on iTunes. Download it. Thank you guys, and keep AfterBuzz afloat by doing so.
Woo!
Yes, sir. All right, guys. So after you guys download the Adventures of Serial Buddies and help support AfterBuzz TV, help support the Real World After Show on AfterBuzz TV. Yes. We've been trying to get you guys as many guests as possible, but we need your help to get us to #1 on iTunes. There's a little friendly competition here at AfterBuzz, and we need your help to show them that the Real World is the ish, in the words of Nicolette. So all you got to do after you download the Adventures of Serial Buddy on iTunes, search Real World AfterBuzz TV, subscribe, rate, and leave us a comment, and it's free to do that. So, shoot.
Okay.
You get 2 videos for the price of 1.
Don't play.
All right, so Jessica gets an email after she first of all, she brings Tyler in.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, thanks, babe.
I mean, we was all prepared that this was not about to go down the way it was supposed to. She's talking to him on the phone, expressing her love for this man.
Can we please talk about one other picture that she had?
Yes.
She had the picture of them with the cat whiskers.
What was that even for?
He's yelling, let's take one with Santa hats. Christmas photo.
Girl, she was trying to get all the holidays in with those photos. She was like, this one's for November, this one's for October, this one's for December. Oh, the one kissing, that's for Valentine's Day. For sure, that's for February. All right. One's for my birthday. Don't play, okay?
And then she gave him the matching pictures and then go to the phone conversation.
Yeah. I mean, the phone conversation, I mean, it doesn't get worse when it comes to that. I mean, she was just like, you just make me smile. I just want to jump on you, and I just want to jump on you and give you a big hug and kiss.
And I miss you, and like I know I saw you like 4 hours ago, but I really miss the sweat on your skin. I want to taste the salt on your skin.
I swear I'm gonna lick your face. I'm gonna lick your face. Jesse, come here. Let me lick your face.
I just want to eat your babies. Like, whoa, girl, calm down.
I think it's more have your babies. Okay, I want to have your babies.
Girl, I think she is crazy. Like, she might have the baby.
I mean,
and then
I really
eat the
think
baby.
maybe
Talking
they
about
had
like
to
it's
bang.
a tribal thing where she can keep the man. She is a man eater. That Jessica.
I think what would have helped this whole relationship if they would have just got it on.
Well, apparently, I mean, he in his letter that he wrote. Let's not get it twisted. What did he say? He said that they're both freaks in the sheets. What do you do? Are you like?
I know y'all just lay there.
What kind of
what did we
freaky thing
see?
do you do? Like, are you picking each other's noses? Like, that's freaky.
Or like, are you like, grinding up at each other like laying down?
like
or
dry sex.
Right.
And then he just squirts it on the sheets.
Ew.
Oh.
See.
I see her more of like, never mind.
Yeah, I mean, we could really get in depth with this, but I don't think that even needs to happen because they're broken up and there's no point.
Yeah, he said, I tried it with an ex-girl. I've tried long distance with an ex-girlfriend.
Bullshit.
In high school, she cheated.
Bullshit. I don't give two.
First of all, wait a minute. Let's please go back to the day when Yahoo Messenger and AOL was around AIM, and you used to talk to people like that is not a relationship, Tyler. Then he says, I tried it again later, and the same thing happened. So I have a guarded heart.
Bullshit,
Boy, bye.
okay? First of all, you're over here talking about a long distance relationship. Like, I'm not gone yet. I haven't left yet. If you wanted to like stop this relationship, like you should just be like, I'm not into you. I don't want to do this. Like, I haven't left yet. I'm still here. Like, hello. Like, maybe when I left, then you can start talking about this long distance thing. Is it not working? Like, obviously, he's not broken up with plenty of people.
Right. I don't need like a damn 3-4 page letter. This ain't Aaliyah. I'm writing you a 4-page.
Right. I mean, it's like it would have been way easier if you would have just talked to her about the situation.
Be a man and just said,
exactly.
You know what? Let's not see each other after today. I love you. You know what I mean? Like, get all that stuff out. Oh, he said, I don't want to say I love you. It just comes off, you're a player. Bye. We don't.
And like, you're bullshitting. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you're saying you have this emotion when
are you?
Like, exactly. Who the hell are you? Like, if I was her, I'd be like, what the hell? Like, you're showing all this emotion, and when we see you just looking like a guy who's just gonna chop down some wood, like, you look so dull, and you're over here pouring your heart out in a letter. Like, you are the biggest pussy ever. You need to take your penis and just shove it up your ass because you're a freaking pussy.
All right. That's how she feels about it.
That is, because that's so dumb. Like,
rude.
Dumb.
That was dumb. And it was really obviously guilty people have to explain that much.
Serious. Like,
alrighty. Marlon. So Marlon's going through this struggle where he wants to hook up with girls. He wants to have fun, but at the same time, he doesn't want to because he wants to, follow his religion and, be what he feels is a good Christian.
I mean, I get that and all, and, go ahead.
Understand
but
that.
let's just, like, really cut to the chase. Like, I just really think is on a different level. Like, I think he's just trying to hide something.
What do you think he's trying to hide?
I don't know. I just think he might be gay.
Well, okay,
like talking about DL people, like, and I respect that. He could still be a Christian and still, not want to have sex, but with a man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he'll still want to have sex with a man.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, it's hard for me to say if he is or isn't, but within the fact of he admitted that he had encounters with men before or a man before.
And that's not my reason why.
No.
That's not my reason why.
So here's my reasoning for the situation. I feel like, maybe there was a time where he might have been confused and, getting his father involved in his life more and kind of really sticking to a strict path of kind of understanding maybe he thought that was the wrong thing to do and he's trying to heal himself or fix himself. Because I do think that there are some people who are gay and were born gay, and I also think there are some people who, had something happen to them at a younger age and, get confused and are on a sort of different path. So for me, I could see that being more realistic of him struggling of why do I have any type of internal feeling like that? Maybe.
I just feel like, I don't know, sometimes I just feel like it's an excuse per se. I mean, even if it is with the girl, like, okay, yeah, you want to hook up, but I don't think you need to be like 24/7 like freaking out if you hook up with somebody. Like, you know, everybody's been there, everybody's had that one like mistake, but like don't like freak out. Like,
Yeah, well, he's gonna. I mean, it was just for this episode, but
but do you get what I'm saying? Like,
I do get what you're saying, but still, it's kind of like, I don't know. When I look at him, I don't look at him like he's a liar. I don't think I don't get malicious. I don't get those things. And
he's confused.
Yeah, I'm definitely confused. And whether it's even the gay thing and just the sex thing with the female or not.
Yeah.
But you're confused of, well, I want to do this, everyone else does this, but the temptation. And I get that
I don't
part.
know. It just seems a little fishy for me. I mean, and it's not because he had sex with the man before. Like, that has nothing to do with anything. It's just like,
How does that not have anything
well,
to
it
do?
does, but I'm not saying that's the reason why I think he's gay. I just feel like either little comments
Like
or
what little
like,
comments?
okay, like the last time he had sex with the girl, well, obviously it was his last episode, but the time he was in a relationship with the girl was in 7th grade. Like, come on now, you know what I'm saying? And then it was just like,
But at the same time, the last time he had
like,
sex with a female, he said was in the 7th grade. That's also when he started music. So did he take maybe some sort of emotion from people and put it into music?
possibly.
I just think it's, I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
what to think of
I
him.
did like, though,
I
the
definitely see
fact-
exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, I did feel, though, I like that they went to the studio. That was kind of like a cool little vibe out session.
We haven't,
like,
I don't think we've really fully seen that on
Yeah, I know. It was really cool that they could actually go there and like it's a different scenario, different atmosphere, you know. And
I loved the song.
of course, Nia was in a mix.
The song with his dad. His dad on that track was really
Yeah,
cool.
that was.
And again, it's just, you know, you hear when he talks about his dad, he lights up and he wants to make his dad proud. And it gets to a point of course, you want to make your dad and God proud of you. But
Right.
in the reality of it, who you really trying to please?
You need to please yourself. That's what I'm gonna say.
Well, that too.
That's what he needs
But
to.
I sometimes wonder if his father might be a little overbearing. Although honestly,
well-
the conversation with his dad when he said, you know, you can go out with people
Yeah, I
and you
don't
can
think he's
exchange
over-
numbers.
yeah.
It doesn't have to lead to sex. You can have girls over. It doesn't have to lead to that. Which
Yeah.
I would actually listen to him, you know, because you watch Preacher's Daughters and things
Right,
like that. It's like,
right.
oh, those fathers, I can tell you why your
Right.
kid is the way you are.
Right.
But for Marlon, I
Seems
just
more laid back.
yeah, you know. So I thought that was really cool of his dad to say something like that.
No, I agree.
Then when Marlon goes into, you know, Marlon and Jessica kind of click a little bit this episode with the breakup. They go to church. Marlon goes and talks to the pastor and kind of has a little breakdown.
That
you
was
know,
a real
little
moment. That was
self-realization
crazy,
moment. I like that. And then he brings Jessica to the studio, and this bitch, what was her song?
yeah. It was
Thirsty ass bitches.
thirsty bitches.
Bitches all thirsty and junk. Bitches all thirsty and junk. And she was like really happy and excited. And I may be reading Nia wrong, but I really don't think I'm reading Nia wrong. But I felt like Nia was in there like, what the fuck
I know, and
are
she's
we
like,
doing? I would love to have Nia on the phone right now to actually ask her that. Because then there was that moment where she got up and walked away, and Jessica was like, oh my God. And I was like, can we go now?
Yeah, like bitches need to be turned down because this shit sucks. Okay, that's really what she was probably thinking.
But that
Fucking
is,
like,
it's
ew.
such a musical cast they have this year.
Oh yes.
Make sure you guys also check out Bird's single on iTunes. Fly. Oh no, that's the album.
Yeah.
Let us know your thoughts. So, are you ready for Averey?
Bring it on, bitch. I still don't like her.
Okay, I'm gonna say this about Averey.
What? Please tell me. Because she's so wrong. She makes every girl look bad. Thank you, Averey, for trying to turn it around back on Johnny and trying to. You should have just admitted, yes, that was wrong. Like, why the hell, when your boyfriend's out there waiting for you, you're in here talking to a man. Mind you, you're done talking to the man. You go back in to what a man is and you take a shot with him while your boyfriend's out there. That's, first of all, rude. Okay, that's a single life. All right, you're with your man. Like, take a shot with your man. Like, why are you taking a shot with this random ass man who probably is irrelevant and who doesn't even matter and who was looking crazy and looking really old?
Well, wait a minute. Okay. First of all,
So,
at the beginning of the episode,
Okay.
Averey makes it clear that she would relocate to live with Johnny because she doesn't really have anything going on in Tempe, or the friends that she has, they've only been friends for 2 years, where Johnny has had lifelong ties in Boston, which in my mind is like, well, then Johnny needs to move with you so you guys can play on an equal field. You know what I'm saying? Because if she goes to
Right.
Boston, then it's like Johnny, and she's like, oh, and this is
Exactly.
Averey. How are you going to really
mean-
connect? And then all your friends are going to be his friends. And then if something doesn't go right, you know, that's a horrible situation to be in.
I personally think she's dumb for just deciding on moving right now. Like, girl, you have not even visited him back in his hometown. There could be some tea. There could be things that you don't know about him. Like,
Well, she
you
did
know,
say
you could
that,
be
too.
acting different.
She did
Yes.
say
So
that.
then why are you making the move? Like, you're already like, oh yes, I'm gonna move there. Like,
I mean,
it's gonna happen. Like,
that's
I get the
something
thoughts of it.
yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, we can think about this after the show. But they're like, she's moving. That's what's happening. Like, if y'all are already fighting about little things like that, like, and you're doing things like that, Averey, come on now. Like,
okay, I understand it, but at the same time, I can also see Averey kind of talked to us about she picked up and moved to an ex-boyfriend to live with an ex-boyfriend,
Right.
and he screwed her over. So at the same time, we also know her story with her mother. I mean, obviously there are things, and you know, last week with Bird, she kind of said Averey
Right.
has
There's-
a wall up. So obviously Averey has internal demons that she fights with, which we all have. But I feel like, and then obviously going into a situation like the real world, which is pretty intense, and then you meet somebody who you can quickly,
Connect
grasp
with,
onto.
yeah.
And honestly, I do see why they like each other. I do think there is a good balance there. I think that there's also things that, like every relationship, need to be kind of, whoa. Because how about actually getting out of, the real world and saying, you know what, let's see how it is being away from each other. Because maybe you
Right.
get out the real world and you're like, oh, hell no, I did not need that. What the hell was I doing?
right.
Because otherwise you're just still kind of going to be on the ride of,
Yeah.
I'm on the real world, me and Johnny from the real world, which
Right.
can cause it to be something good, but
But at the same time, it could just be like going downhill too. Like, what do you really, I mean, I could see why they like each other. I get it. I'm just talking about this situation really
so
bugs
all right,
me.
yeah, and I will say I kind of feel like Averey did kind of flip it on Johnny when they went to the bar, or they were at work, Pizza Schmizza. Averey was sitting down next to this guy from Boston, and now I'm not knocking her for talking to him. I'm not knocking her for talking to him because
No,
you work
there's
there.
nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Having a conversation with, this guy.
And then, of
There's
course, he's
nothing
from
wrong with
Boston,
that.
so then they're talking about the Boston thing, which is kind of like,
That's
okay.
kind of getting too personal, though. Like,
Not
oh,
really.
yeah, I'm moving, like, with that guy right over there. Like, I'm moving to, like, girl, you sound crazy. Like,
I don't see, that doesn't bother me because it's just like you
that's like
you
putting
work
people's
there.
business out there. Like, that's your business. Like,
But yeah, she's
why
on the
don't
real
people-
world.
Oh, I'm just saying. But he's a stranger.
But we're strangers too.
What does that have to do with anything?
I'm just saying, like, I feel, you know what I mean? You work at a
know.
bar, and bartenders usually do get close to customers, and I don't know, I just feel like it was a conversation. I'm sure she wasn't giving him her damn social
Well,
security
obviously,
number.
that's fine.
But now, the first conversation was fine. Even, Johnny got mad for her talking for an hour and a half. Well, maybe they were damn
Okay.
talking. I could talk about Cape Cod, Boston, for
For
a
an
damn
hour,
hour.
I would be bored. I'm
could.
like, why am I talking to you this long?
Not the stories
Like,
I be telling about them.
Well, I know. I'd be talking to you because we know each other. But just a random
saying-
ass person for an hour and a half, that's just weird. I'm sorry, Averey. Like,
Okay, but when Johnny said, if I sat and talked to a girlfriend,
yeah, I would
that's
be irritated.
Yeah,
I'd be like, what are you doing? Like, why are you talking to this bitch for an hour and a half? Like, what the hell? Like, why can't we just be having our own conversation after work? How was work? Oh, we working together.
Or
Oh,
how
we can
about,
have a
you
drink
say,
together.
hi, bye,
Like,
nice to meet you,
yeah,
and then
like,
you continue
oh, it was
moving
nice
on.
serving you, whatever. But you over there chopping it up, like.
So
girl.
then, Johnny was,
Icing on the cake.
when you walk outside, Johnny's mad.
Yeah.
He's upset. And then you say, wait, and then you missed whatever it was you guys were trying to catch. So then you say, I got to go to the bathroom. Okay, well, you already made us late. So shoot, like the
as
owner
well.
said, you might as well. We got all the time now. So she went to go to the bathroom. And then as she comes back, she stops to the guy with the Boston. He says he offered her a shot, which you didn't have to take the shot. You could have been like,
No,
you know
sorry.
what?
Like, my boyfriend's waiting outside. Like, we need to
Right.
go.
I
Like,
shouldn't
I'm
be
sorry.
drinking that
yeah.
anymore. Like, I appreciate it. I love you. Nice to meet you, but
I love you.
like a fan.
Sure. Like, I love you.
I love you.
Okay, Jessica. I'm gonna start calling you Jess. Okay, Jess. All right. Thanks.
So going into it, I didn't mind that first conversation, but then you kind of took a little too far with the whole shot thing.
Is she
And-
trying to say it to Johnny like it wasn't a big deal? Oh, he offered me a shot. Why he offering you a shot? Like,
Yeah.
what you doing to get a shot? Like, first of all, the conversation was done.
Right?
You was
he just
outside.
seen you walk. You had your coat on. You walked
Probably
out
was
of
walking
the
to the
building.
bathroom like, yeah, that shot? You still doing that shot? All
Yeah.
right. I can do it now. All right. I'm going to get it on the way back. All right. Trifling.
So he's pissed at her, whatever. Then Averey decides to, when they get home. Well, the other thing I didn't understand is why Johnny said, actually, before that, you were just talking to him to make me mad. They never really touched on why he said that. Why would she try to make him mad?
Maybe. No, I think Johnny might have just said that. Like, do you like to get aroused out of me? Like, talking to other guys? Like, do you like to do that? Like, I feel like you pleasure and, like, pissing me off. Like,
Right. Which kind of comes off a little crazy, too.
That is kind of crazy.
You did that just to make me. Do you realize how mad you made me? But at the same time, he's from Boston, and I'm from Boston, so I get it. I understand it a little bit.
Right. Well, she was.
But at the same time, then Averey's crying in the confessional, and then Johnny
I
comes
just
in,
don't want anything to do with him. Like,
and he breaks down and kind of. I like this moment for him because. Well, I liked what this moment could have been instead of how it ended. And I really wish Averey put her wall down.
Yeah.
And she didn't, because he says, girls always prove themselves wrong. Now, you just were on the phone with your grandmother, who is the sweetest woman ever. She was adorable. You were on the phone with your grandmother talking about, I can't trust men. And now you have this man saying the same thing to you.
Yeah.
That should be like, whoa. That's weird, to kind of have that understanding with each other. And he said, what if I sat with a girl for an hour and a half and then she doesn't want to deal with it? And I feel like, personally, watching that moment, it came off as she felt, oh, shit, I fucked up.
Yeah. She should have admitted
couldn't deal
to
with it and walked out.
Yeah, she should admit to it and said, you know what, you're right.
And it would have
Like,
been done.
I'm sorry. I will not do that again. Exactly. But she's not trying to act like she's wrong. Girl,
Which
that's your
goes
issue.
back to the same thing with the
Okay,
snowboarder, with the
right.
phone number. Was that Averey?
The snowboarder.
Or was that Jessica? That was Jessica.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
Anyways, but still, within that moment, it was just at that moment, he cries in the bed with her and breaks down.
Right.
And you could kind of hear her voice. She was like, don't do that. Like,
But just got
there was a
bad.
little joy. I feel like there was a
was.
little joy in it, because
Of
it was just kind of
course.
like a moment where she could look at him and kind of say, hey, he really does love me. And so they had to take their moment, whatever. They do this zombie apocalypse
So
stuff.
weird.
So random.
So weird.
And Naya didn't really have a lot this episode. Naya was just getting that poor dog so fat.
Right. The zombie thing, though, was really funny. Like, I was just like, what the heck? Like, they're really doing that. Like, I mean, it's interesting,
It is interesting.
but it's fucking weird.
It
like,
is
Like,
a
hitting
little
people
strange.
with socks and, like, what? Like,
Or like, really, you have to stay up for 24
well,
hours
I'm glad it
in
was
the
just
woods.
socks they was hitting them with. I thought it was about to get serious up
With
in
the
there.
axes?
Okay, with the axes and shit. All right. Like, I was, like, kind of scared.
I felt like they really went in there. I'm sure they all had a good time, but reading them, I was kind of like, who the hell are these? It would have to be, because really, I would walk up and they're like, oh no, I know I'm the most different person in this group.
I'd have been like, I don't think I belong here, and I'm different, okay? This
Because
is
y'all might
not
take this shit a little too
serious,
seriously.
and they might just eat me like a real zombie.
And you know what? I don't mind the like throwing the axes, the bow, running around chasing each other with bow and arrows. I'll do all that. But sleep in the woods with these, I don't know them. I'm sure
For
they
all
had.
I know, they really could be a zombie.
And I'm
like,
sure
a
they
real
signed a
zombie.
waiver there that said, like, if anything happens overnight.
Hell no.
Well, if anything happens
If I
overnight.
have to sign anything, I'd be like, okay, y'all done. Like, I thought this was a rubber bow and arrow and a plain
So what's in the
sock,
woods?
okay?
What you hiding in the woods? That
Right.
something might happen in the
There's
woods.
no time. Y'all
can't.
need to get it together, and there's no time for no zombie camp. Okay, we need to cancel these shows. What y'all even talking about?
Now,
Zombies,
can we
right?
please talk about when they were throwing the axe at the melon?
Oh yeah, Averey
Jordan,
felt so
first
good.
of all, Jordan, why are you trying to stir up drama?
I
Talking
know.
about that fight last night. Like, bye.
I mean, I bet he just felt awkward. What were they gonna all talk about?
That's true. It's probably a really
He was
awkward car
probably like,
ride.
all right, I'm just gonna say it right now. So what happened? You know, as
But,
we're
like,
throwing axes.
How about the whole car ride y'all are driving up? You have that
Right.
like as we're
Right.
throwing as Avery's holding the damn axe in her hand.
Right, right.
So then she did. That was a pretty good shot for her.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give her that. The instructor was so serious.
Oh yeah, I was like, hold on. Like, have you seen a real zombie before?
Right. Like, you really know your stuff.
I'd be scared. No time.
Johnny acts like a zombie. He got bit. So Johnny was a horrible
Did
zombie.
you hear? Oh yeah. No, that was actually that had me really cracking up. Like I was like, what the heck? Like, what would you? Okay, do your zombie impression. Really? That'd be. Okay.
Yeah. What would yours be? Oh, all right. That was Stevens from the booth. P.S.
That was all Nicolette.
Thanks for helping me out, Steven.
Speaking of zombies, actually, guess who I saw at lunch today? Steven, do you watch Walking Dead?
Yeah, because you know
Yeah.
I don't.
Who is the other cop that died?
Oh, Shane?
Shane. I saw Shane at lunch today. He has 2 giant pit bulls. He was really cool.
Oh, hey, Shane.
Just a little side note.
Okay.
Anyways, so they did the zombie apocalypse thing. They had a really great time doing it, which was good because it kind of killed the air.
Yeah.
All the negativity in
Definitely.
there. The end of them, they're just in love. Just 2 little kids in love. And it's kind of like when you're in that moment. I don't know. I really see them kind of lasting.
I do too. I mean, she just bugs me. Like, whatever. I hope they live happily ever after. Like, goodbye.
Little side
Goodbye.
note, Bird steals street cones, which shout out to Bird because I do the same as well. It's a little pastime I do.
You guys are so cool.
Thanks.
I wish I could do that.
Do you want to join the club?
No.
All
It's
right, well, you
okay.
can't.
I'll let y'all have fun doing that.
On that note, let's head into predictions.
Whoop. Thank God.
And now,
Thank
your
God. What?
AfterBuzz TV prediction.
Thank God we finally here.
No, I'm just kidding. I love doing this show with you. Boo.
Anyways.
Rawr.
All right, so next week is the episode that we really want.
Yes, I can't wait to karate chop.
Bird gets upset with Jessica.
Right, which I'm like, wait. I'm trying to understand if we've seen it this past episode, like what's going on.
Well, all the
Because she
teas.
says she's trying to do something. So,
Yeah.
so we.
Well, it's also interesting too because I know there's been like this whole Twitter thing between Laura from last season and Jessica talking about Jessica's a man stealer.
She seems like she.
And so-
you know who she is?
Who?
She's one of those girls who acts.
Who is she?
No, because I'm just
I know,
reading
you're
her right
gonna
now.
tell me.
She is like one of those innocent girls, but she is just in the inside like, hey, like, oh, you have a boyfriend? Well, hi, my name's Jessica.
And I really wonder. And I really wonder
Like,
if Tyler, she was like, she met Tyler and was like, yo, like, just let's play this little couple. And then, like,
No, I just think
cameras
she,
off, she'd be like, I'm a grown woman.
Like, I just feel like she's really playing this innocent card. It's just not working. Jessica, we know you.
Well, you know, we're going to have to get Averey in, on the line because I posted something about Jessica, or I retweeted something about Jessica, and Averey retweeted it. So, I don't know. Averey must feel some ways about Jessica's mainstream. I wonder if she does try to come for, like, Johnny or something.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Ooh, that's a cup of Earl Grey right there.
Okay.
We get Nia versus Johnny and Averey.
That is
Over
about
dog shit,
to
I'm
go
assuming?
down.
I'm assuming Nia and Johnny get into it, and then Averey feels like she has to come to the defense, and then Naya just.
They all just start slamming each other.
Well,
Starts
I don't know.
beating
I kind
up
of just
Johnny.
saw Naya.
Avery starts socking. I thought Avery actually was trying to sock
Really?
Naya. That's what I saw.
I'm excited.
Well,
for
I
next week.
cannot wait. So.
I'm really excited. I know y'all are really excited, and I can just imagine who we're going to have on next week. So make sure you guys tune in every single week. You guys can hit us up on at AfterBuzz TV on iTunes, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We got it all. Also, make sure, please help support AfterBuzz TV by purchasing The Adventures of Serial Buddies on iTunes. It's released today. Please subscribe to us on iTunes. Download, rate, subscribe, and you can tweet us all throughout the week. Me at DJ Jesse J.
And mine at sensei_DRC.
Until next week, same time, same place. Peace.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.